based on my experience at Speaker's Corner, interacting on a sustained long-term basis, I can confirm that this behavior is Islamic at Speaker's Corner.
Okay, what behavior?
The fact of shouting, behaving like hyenas, calling names unwarranted, not engaging in the with the questions asked, but rather at Speaker's Corner. Statistically, at Speaker's Corner is my point. How should Muslims treat the Jews and the Christians according to the Quran?
If you don't cover what you just stated, I can't move on.
No, please.
And if you wanna
This is not sincere right
No,
now.
I want you to know that I was genuine about my first.
No, you're not genuine. You began well. You began well, but you did not end well. IQ level. Look at this. Average IQ of people who are standing behind me here. Any guesses? You could be a kid. If you know only numbers from 1 to 10, that should be sufficient to answer. Average IQ of the people behind me, 1 to 10. My 2-year-old child could give an answer. IQ. We don't need to know numbers which are larger to answer. So this is the tragedy of what is happening even at Speaker's Corner. Now we will go and find out maybe Bamza or someone else.
Arul, have you read this?
Surah. Which one is that? Surah? Sorry. This is Hadith. Yeah, Hadith. It says it was narrated from Aisha that the Messenger of Allah said, when any one of you goes to the toilet to defecate, let him take with him 3 stones.
He's reading it off his phone.
Say again.
He's reading it off Google. It should be in your
You're a Muslim?
Huh?
Are you a Muslim, sir?
I'm not religious.
You're not religious. We're talking about Islam, and suddenly, you came across like a Muslim in your behavior. So anyway, long story short, Muslims have no qualification. Muslims have no qualification to talk about hygiene.
They shouldn't use water. They should use tools.
At the least, you should begin spelling the word water properly. At the least, that would be a good start. Now, to you, my dear friends, you're a Muslim woman.
Yes.
Please help, not you, sir. You're a bit confused. Muslim ladies, please come here. I know at home you can't speak. Are you both from the same family? Same man?
Go.
Same man? Multiple men? What are we dealing with here? Children, please move on. I'm speaking to adults here. Adults are running away, they're fleeing. Children are coming and disturbing. Hello, sir, please. You're Muslims. Please help me understand how to build a good family based on the Quran. Hey, okay. You're lovely, good to see you. How to build a good family based on... Good to see you. Hello, you are here, my dear friend. Please help me understand. Does the Quran give some good teaching on how to build a family? Say again. How to build a good family. What lessons does the Quran give?
Firstly,
Yeah.
before I engage with you, I want to say
Yeah.
that I condone the words that were being thrown towards you earlier. Okay.
Well, it's fine. We'll
The
focus on...
insults they were giving, because I know you were turning around and you were saying, do you Muslims agree with this? We don't agree with name calling. Nah,
Speak at your voice.
yeah.
Which name calling you're talking about?
Do you mind if I repeat them?
No, you don't have to repeat. But throughout the day, Muslims have been abusive.
Very bad names.
Muslims have been abusive, and this is what happens
hold on, one
consistently at
second.
Speaker's
I'm a
Corner.
Muslim,
Yeah,
and I'm here condoning what they're saying.
sure.
So you can't use a general term.
No,
Like
you're just an
Muslim.
outlier. In statistics, we would call... In statistics, we would call this an outlier. Because you're not the norm.
You see the same group of Muslims for many months. Have you visited all the
No,
Muslims around
not
the
really.
world?
Oh, no. I've been at Speaker's Corner.
How many Muslims are in the world?
Please listen. You asked me a question, now you need to listen. I've been at Speaker's Corner now coming up to be 20 years. I have seen, for example, even today, I would have run into 2,000 to 3,000 to 5,000 Muslims today. Many Muslims who come, and the floating population every day. But I've been here for about 20 years. Can you imagine? About 20 years. Speaker's Corner. We're talking about 20 into 50, around 50. And so this is what I'm dealing with. And so statistically, based on, I have experience, unlike maybe even you. about 20 years of interacting with Muslims at Speaker's Corner, and I can tell you very confidently that if you want to condone that, which you have, which I thank you for, I would tell you, you are perhaps one among maybe maximum 30 people who would have done. Out of thousands I have run into, and so my point would be, you would be an outlier.
They may not
statistically.
The thing is, we have to, when we see wrong, even if someone like we say, even if a non-believer's even if a believer's oppressing a non-believer, we have to talk to a believer and say, hey, listen, don't oppress the non-believer. So, what I'm saying is, if a Muslim says that yes, Islam allows us to name call and to mock and this, we disagree with that.
Okay, we'll
And
focus on
Muslims
that
don't
right
agree
now.
with that.
According to the Quran, what is the judgment on
Firstly,
the
that's-
Jews and the Christians? What is the judgment?
Firstly, the reason why I don't want to have, that's why when I came to speak to you, that's why I kind of objected to the mic, is because I just wanted to talk about that. Why? Because I believe that one shouldn't talk about a specific topic unless he's knowledge on it. I'm not very knowledge on everything that's in the Quran.
But you said that behavior is not from the Quran or some such thing, or not
Yes,
from Islam.
because the scholars,
and so you
I'll
must
explain
be.
to you why. Because the scholars who I take knowledge from have a lot of knowledge from the Quran, and they have said that name call, and someone actually specifically asked this question to one of the scholars and asked them whether it is permissible to name call and mock the disbelievers. He said no, it's not permissible to, for example, call a,
Yeah, flip. Can we go? Just for the sun to be on our face. Sorry, thank you.
For example, the scholars have said that it's not permissible to go around and name call or mock non-Muslims.
So here is
One
where.
second, let me finish. Now the scholars have gone through the whole Quran and have studied the Quran. So that's why when you ask me, well, you haven't gone through the Quran, so how do you know that that's not in there? It's because the scholars have gone through it, and I have yet to hear a verse from the Quran that says you can name call the disbelievers. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying calling someone disbeliever. I'll give you an example. For example, if I call someone with a disability, oh, you cripple, as an insult. Or if I call someone with an eye disorder, oh, you ugly blind man. Why is this not allowed in Islam? Or even if you use your logic, who created that man with the missing eye? God. Who created the man with the missing leg? So if you insult the man's eye or the man's leg, then you're insulting God's creation.
Sure.
And nowhere
This is
does
where-
God say you can insult.
No, thank you very much for at least saying you disagreed with their behavior.
Yeah, and
that
sorry,
much.
one more thing, and also the characteristics of people shouting at your ears on purpose to cause you discomfort. This is also not allowed, and it's nowhere found in Islam. But again, yes, they were young, but that's not an excuse.
It's not just the young fellows.
That's why I advise them.
My dear
I
friend.
haven't seen. Well, sorry,
But you
let
must
be
listen
respectful.
to me.
I've never seen an adult Muslim here. If you can show some videos, maybe there is. But for most of the Muslim adults here, I haven't seen them run around people and start shouting like hyenas. Sorry, I'm gonna say the truth.
Yeah.
It sounded
The
like
Muslims are
hyenas.
doing it, yeah.
Wait, hold on. But I can also show you videos of Christians running around like hyenas and shouting.
You will not.
One second. Jews, I work in a Jewish community, running around and kicking even Christians in Israel, spitting at, one second, let me finish, at Christian preachers. Now, would I go around and say that, all Christians, all Jews are spitting at Christians? No. Because some kid or some teen Jews were running around and spitting at a Christian preacher. I don't know if you saw the video in Jerusalem. She was a Christian preacher and kids run around and spat at her. And this is unacceptable. But I wouldn't go around and say yes. And actually the Jews,
But
sorry,
now
are
you
only a
need
few
to-
million.
You've
So
spoken enough.
technically that's a big percentage.
On this topic,
Sorry.
you've spoken enough. What I'm going to say very simply
Yeah.
is, whereas I'm seeing you for the first time
Yeah,
at
don't
Speaker's
come here.
Corner.
But I've seen you a lot, to be honest.
Sure, thank
Online.
you. Thank you much.
didn't
What
mean
I
it as a
can
compliment.
say, say again.
I didn't mean it as a compliment now, joke, yeah, but yeah.
What I can say is I have been at Speaker's Corner for about 20 years. week in, week out. We're dealing with many hundreds of weeks, hundreds of days.
There's a lot of Muslims here.
Thousands of Muslims.
Would you say more than Christians?
No, well, certainly. More Muslims come around, like you said, like hyenas in numbers. That's what they normally do. Christians don't do that. But please listen to me.
Well, just
but the point.
in numbers doesn't mean they're hyenas.
No, and their behavior is mob-like. I will need to finish. The point is very simple.
All right, Christians.
Based on my experience at Speaker's Corner, interacting on a sustained long-term basis, I can confirm that this behavior is Islamic at Speaker's Corner.
Okay, what behavior?
The fact of shouting, behaving like hyenas, calling names unwarranted, not engaging in the with the questions asked, but rather at Speaker's Corner. Statistically, at Speaker's Corner is my point. And
You wouldn't say that that means that every Muslim's like that.
statistically, this is in statistics we don't deal with every. In statistics we deal with
You say most?
most. Statistically, it's a dominant phenomenon we observe.
So all the millions of Muslims in Saudi, all the millions of Muslims in Emirates.
When I go there, how will they behave?
No, not when you go there. How are they statistically?
Please
not
listen.
when you go there.
What I can say, okay, I've said what I've said. Very simply, this is Islamic.
Be honest.
Now, I want to ask you the question.
Hold on, I won't continue with anything until we cover this.
If your question is...
Because I wouldn't say that when I see Tommy Robinson fans running around drunk...
If you ask me the question...
And punching people, I wouldn't say that all Christians statistically are like this. Because not all
Tommy
Christians are
Robinson
running around-
followers don't do, so don't make things up as you go along.
Tommy Robinson followers don't run around drunk? You said you saw, I'm saying I saw.
No, listen carefully.
Confused.
No.
I've seen thousands of them in a march, literally pissing
Listen carefully.
and throwing Bibles.
Listen carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have, between us, exclusive insight from Speaker's Corner. Please listen. Exclusive insight from Speaker's Corner. You don't. And therefore I said about that. Please,
Speaker's Corner doesn't-
you're cutting me short.
hold on.
You're cutting me short.
Speaker's
Please listen. You please. About the rest of the nation, I doubt if you would have exclusive access to information. Particularly Tommy Robinson and crew, the Patriots had many successful marches, very peaceful and so on. So I don't want to get into red herrings right now. I want to get to the specific. I want us to get to the specific point. No. The one question I wanted to ask you. We have digressed. We were. What is the?
You've made the claim.
How
that
should
because of the
Muslims?
that
Please.
means statistically
How
Muslims
should
are like this.
Muslims treat the Jews and the Christians according to the
If
Quran?
you don't cover what you just stated, I can't move on.
No, please.
And if you wanna
This is not sincere right now.
No, you're not being
This is
sincere.
my point.
I've made
You
a
just said
claim,
before.
You've made a claim.
No.
And you moved on. I said my
Right
claim
now,
is that Christians.
You have said what you've said. I have said what I've said. It's all on camera.
But I wanna dive
People
deeper
can judge. People can judge. I don't want to argue until cows come home.
Wait,
And I want to
wait.
get to the very
No, hold on.
important substance right
What's
now.
arguing to you? Are we arguing?
According to the
Are we
Quran,
arguing?
no, I don't want to. Right now we are. Right now you want to continue discussing that. What I'm saying is you've said what you've said. You've said what
So
you've
if I
said.
want to continue discussing what we're about to talk about, are we arguing?
No. What I'm
No,
saying.
hold on. You said we're arguing if we continue discussing the first point. If we move on to the next point and we continue there, is that arguing?
At a certain stage,
So what's the time limit for?
you're not
for
letting me
talking?
finish.
Yeah.
No, letting. That's not a good idea.
No good idea.
When it comes to a topic, clearly, I'm not coming to this discussion thinking I'm going to convince you right away. I'm going to convince you right away. That's not how I'm coming to the conversation. I want to say, you want to say, we try and engage once or twice, and then we move on. We call it a day. And my point is, in relation to commentary on what Islamic behavior is, what Christian behavior is, what Patriots behavior is, what's the behavior of the Jews, we have said enough. You have said enough. I've said enough.
I can't continue.
We have said enough.
Hold on. If I say, would you continue talking to me if I said all females that have lied about being raped, that means all of them are liars? Would you continue the conversation with me if I said that? No,
After-
because this is dishonest.
You asked me a question. You asked me. Any topic Doesn't matter which topic.
Yeah.
Any topic, once some level of insight has been shared and discussed, people need to call it a day and move on. Any topic.
Who chooses that? If you
This
choose
is
that,
common
then I-
sense.
then I
Are you going to sit together with me
Then I disagree.
until you become a Christian? Is that what you're going to do right now? Of course you, that's not what, please. I want to, this is very simple, my dear friend. You are here, I am here. Let's discuss some substance.
No, I disagree.
According to Islam, according to the Quran,
sorry.
what should be the treatment of the Jews and the Christians? And this is the first point. This will help us make some good. This can help us. This can help us because I'm going to demonstrate that all the hyena-like behavior that you mentioned is nothing in comparison to what Muhammad did towards the Jews and the Christians. Look at them. You're touching me, you're coming too close to me. I don't know how old you are. Please give me some distance. Thank you. Now,
So again, I wanna stick. To
we can get to the basics right now.
No.
How did Muhammad want to treat the Jews and the
Okay,
Christians?
I'm gonna keep it this. I want to stick with the first topic, and then I'll happily move on to the next one. If you don't want to do that, then we'll conclude the conversation.
This was the original conversation.
No.
About the other topic we have discussed so far. I find you to be insincere right now.
But that's what I'm
We're
accusing
dealing with
you
the
of.
substance right
But
now.
I'm
You can
accusing
accuse. It's everything is on camera. You can accuse anything you like,
That's it. So we both find
and
each other
people can judge.
insincere.
And so
We both find each other insincere. Because if you had covered the first topic properly, I would have happily.
what is the judgment of the Jews of Muhammad towards the Jews and the Christians? If you don't want to engage, that's fine. Thank you much. Lovely. Thank you very much. God's blessings. This is.
I just want I want you to know that I was genuine about my first.
No, you're not genuine. You began well. You began well, but you did not end well. God's blessings. No, please stay. No, not interested. Not interested. You can speak to the tree.